Concerns surrounding nuclear energy are safety, waste management, and total expense.
Past nuclear accidents highlight the potentially disastrous effects of nuclear power plants, despite the many safety precautions and protocols that may be in place. The truth of the matter is, no matter how many measures are enacted, nuclear energy will always be dangerous. Several examples of nuclear accidents exist, both in the plants themselves and in peripheral operations, that show that nuclear power can endanger human life. Most recently, on February 1st of 2014, the Waste Isolation Pilot Plant in New Mexico, designed to store radioactive waste from nuclear research and testing for up to 10,000 years, leaked airborne radioactive material, endangering 140 workers, 13 of which were later found to have internalized harmful amounts of radioactive contaminants. A second leak at the plant occurred shortly after the first, releasing plutonium and other radiotoxins, causing concern for communities living near the repository. The month before, at the Ross uranium mine in Namibia, a leach tank failed structurally, causing a spill and exposing the workers to harmful levels of radioactive contaminants. For plants themselves, the incident at Fukushima, which resulted in a nuclear meltdown of 3 of the 6 reactors, and the Fukui prefecture in Japan, in which a steam explosion killed 4, shows that nuclear power is indeed dangerous and yet to be perfected despite its long history. Secondly, power plants in many sensitive regions of the world act as attack sites. In September of 2003, Israeli combatants bombed a Syrian reactor that was under construction. A decade earlier, Iraq had launched Scud missiles at Israel's Dimona nuclear power plant. Thus, though the rate of nuclear incidences are small, they are very dangerous. Nuclear power is never going to be the answer to climate change. A nuclear power station cannot reduce non-carbon dioxide emissions, as electricity is not a large contributor to CO2 emissions. Nuclear power plants also take a significant amount of time to build. Energy efficiency and other forms of renewable energy, geothermal, wind, solar, tidal, cogeneration, microhydro, biomass, and wave power, can be implemented today. The mining of uranium, a non-renewable resource, does direct environmental damage to ecosystems and the general environment. As well, the long-term storage of nuclear waste can in the long duration have unknown environmental impact. Some nuclear power plants remove large quantities of water from a lake or river, which could affect fish and other aquatic life, already endangered from commercial interests. Additionally, heavy metals and salts build up in the water used in all of the power plant systems, including nuclear ones. These water pollutants, as well as the higher temperature of the water discharged from the power plant, can also negatively impact the water quality and aquatic life. Nuclear energy is more costly than renewable energy, as well as traditional energy sources. According to Economist magazine, nuclear energy does not merit any more investment because it is too expensive compared to alternatives, including wind and solar energy sources, and it is only getting more expensive. Between 2002 and 2008, for example, cost estimates for the new nuclear power plant construction in California rose from between $2 billion and $4 billion per unit to over $9 billion per unit. Additionally, a 1,000-megawatt pressurized water reactor would generate electricity in 2018 from as little as 17 cents per kilowatt hour to as much as 34 cents per kilowatt hour. These results are startling. Most renewable technologies today generate electricity for less than that. Lastly, renewable energy is more profitable than nuclear energy. Historically, nuclear power plants have not only been expensive, but they've also been financially extremely risky because of their long lead times, cost overruns, and open-ended liabilities. If the same money were invested in efficiency or in renewables, it would have a greater impact on the emissions of the greenhouse gases. Lastly, nuclear reactors are effectively uninsurable. Further losses and damages would need to be covered as the additional cost to the public, as nuclear energy is largely funded through government funding.